Did you know just one small change in your bedtime can help people over 70 reduce their risk of heart disease by nearly 50%, improve memory, stabilize blood sugar levels, and achieve deeper, higher quality sleep? Yet many seniors miss out on this simple secret without even realizing it. Why does sleep become so hard to grasp after 70? Have you ever wondered why you toss and turn all night, or why you wake up feeling tired and sluggish, even after what should have been a full night's rest? Why does staying up late leave you feeling drained the next day? That's because your body is sending you signals, but you might not be listening in the right way. And the most amazing part is this: simply by adjusting your bedtime to match your body's golden hour, you allow your body to heal itself. Your heart gets stronger, your memory sharper, your mind calmer, and all of this without any medications or complicated therapies. Why does sleep change after 70? Once you hit 70, your body's internal clock starts to shift. The hormone melatonin, which helps you fall asleep, begins to release earlier in the evening. Meanwhile, cortisol, the hormone that helps you stay alert, starts to rise earlier in the morning. This natural rhythm means your body wants to rest earlier, usually between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m. But most of us stick to old habits, staying up late, watching TV, reading the news, scrolling through our phones. And that's how we miss the golden window our body is trying to guide us toward. The result? Poor quality sleep, waking up still feeling tired, and over time it can take a toll on your heart memory and mood. Have you ever asked yourself, could there be an ideal bedtime that sharpens your memory, protects your heart, and helps you regain energy in just a few weeks? It might sound too simple to be true, but often the most powerful solutions are found in life's simplest moments. You might think that feeling tired, being forgetful, or waking up with a heavy head after a full night's sleep is just part of getting older. But there's another possibility that few people consider: you might simply be going to bed at the wrong time. If you're over 70 or caring for a loved one who is what I'm about to share may completely change the way you think about sleep. And more than that, it could transform the way you approach aging itself. With over 2 decades of experience in sleep science, I've seen countless seniors make a small adjustment and experience a dramatic change. From restless nights and groggy mornings, they began waking up with clearer minds, more energy, and a deep sense of calm. The best part: they didn't need any new medication, didn't spend money on expensive treatments, and didn't have to adopt complicated routines. It all started with changing the time they went to bed. In today's video, I'll reveal the golden bedtime, a time that science has proven can help thousands of seniors across the country sleep more deeply, and as a result, significantly improve their health. What many people don't talk about is this: after 70, your internal body clock changes in a big way. And if you keep clinging to old habits, staying up late to watch TV, or keeping the same bedtime as when you were younger, you may unknowingly make yourself more tired, more forgetful, and increase your risk of heart problems. But when you understand what's happening inside your body and work with it instead of against it, you'll see everything start to change for the better. In just a few minutes, I'll guide you through the latest findings from trusted research by Harvard Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins. Together, we'll explore how the aging brain changes how sleep hormones function, and most importantly, what the ideal bedtime is for seniors to start their sleep. But we won't stop at theory. I also want to share real-life stories, living proof from patients in their 70s and 80s. These are people who made just one small change to their bedtime and saw amazing results in just a few short weeks. So if you've been struggling with insomnia, feeling drained of energy, or sometimes feeling unsettled because your memory isn't as sharp as it once was, or if you simply want to embrace your golden years with a clear mind, a strong body, and a peaceful heart, keep watching. This could be the most important health secret you'll ever discover. Think about it. This might just be the most valuable video you'll watch this year, especially if you care about your health and sleep as you age. Before we start this journey of discovery, if you find health information for seniors truly useful, I'd be grateful if you take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. That way you won't miss any vital tips to help improve your quality of life as you grow older. And please don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you noticed changes in your sleep as you've gotten older? I'd love to hear your story. Now let's step together into the fascinating world of sleep science after 70, where just one small shift in your bedtime could turn out to be the miracle medicine you never knew you needed. Have you ever wondered why your sleep feels so different from the past? Maybe you used to sleep soundly, but lately you find yourself nodding off during your favorite evening shows, only to be wide awake at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling. Or maybe you still get your full 7 to 80 hours of sleep, but wake up feeling sluggish as if you hadn't truly rested at all. If this sounds familiar, I want to reassure you it's not your fault. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong, and it certainly doesn't mean it's just because you're getting older. In fact, this is the natural result of changes happening inside your body. Your sleep is simply reflecting those changes. Once we reach 70, a quiet but incredibly important shift happens in the brain. We begin to lose a special stage of sleep known as deep sleep. This is the phase that repairs the body, clears the mind, and restores energy for the new day. According to research, by the time we're 70, the amount of deep sleep we can achieve drops by as much as 40% compared to when we were 50. That's a significant loss. What this means is that even if you sleep through the night, your brain and body may not be getting all the recovery they need. That's why so many seniors wake up in the morning feeling tired, mentally foggy, or even emotionally empty, despite having slept the recommended number of hours. But there's another factor that often goes unnoticed. As we age, our bodies start producing melatonin, the hormone that makes us feel sleepy earlier in the evening. Maybe you've noticed you start feeling drowsy around 800 or 8:30 p.m. But many people brush off that feeling, thinking it's too early to go to bed. Instead, they stay up watching TV, checking emails, having a snack, or simply sticking to old habits. But what we often mistake for weakness is actually a precious message your body is sending you. It's a sign that it's time to rest, that your brain and heart need timely care. This isn't weakness or sign of decline. It's your body's natural rhythm gently guiding you towards sleep. But when we ignore that signal, when we intentionally fight against it, sleep becomes even harder to find. I still vividly remember the story of Mr. Johnson, a longtime patient of mine whom I deeply admire. It was a chilly autumn afternoon when he walked into my office looking tired, his eyes filled with worry. He was 70 years old, a retired high school history teacher known for his sharp mind and kind heart. Sitting down in front of me, he sighed and said, "Doctor, I still go to bed at the same time I always have, around 11 p.m. But now I toss and turn all night, lying there wide awake. When I finally do fall asleep, I wake up feeling even more exhausted than when I went to bed. Something must be wrong with me, right?" We talked at length and I ran a few simple tests. The answer slowly became clear. There was nothing wrong with Mr. Johnson at all. He simply hadn't realized one important truth. His internal clock had changed. His brain had started producing melatonin earlier in the evening, signaling it was time to rest. But his old habit of staying up late kept him awake far past the body's golden window for deep quality sleep. I suggested he try something simple for the next 3 weeks. Go to bed at 9:30 p.m., no TV, no late night reading, just listen to his body. Mr. Johnson chuckled. "That's earlier than the evening news even comes on." I smiled and said, "Just try it. 3 weeks. And right on schedule, he came back to see me 3 weeks later. But this time he seemed like a different man. He stood taller, his eyes were bright, and a big smile lit up his face. He said something I'll never forget. "Doctor, it feels like someone just turned the lights back on in my brain." He had reclaimed peaceful sleep, waking up clear-headed and full of energy. In fact, he had even started morning walks again, a habit he'd given up months before because he was simply too tired. The wonderful thing is Mr. Johnson's story isn't unique. It's the story of millions of seniors everywhere, people trying to keep up with routines from 30 years ago, while their bodies are quietly urging them to make a change. Sleep after 70 is different, but it isn't broken. Your body still needs rest, repair, and renewal. It just wants to do that on a new schedule now. The good news is, when you understand and respect this natural rhythm, when you stop fighting it and start working with it, that's when real deep and restorative sleep returns. And in the next part, I'll reveal the golden bedtime of 9:30 p.m., the timing that could truly transform your quality of life. Between 9:30 and 10 p.m., this is the golden window for sleep in people over 70. And here's something not every doctor will tell you. The time you go to bed can be just as important or even more important than how many hours you sleep each night. Think back, haven't there been nights when you stayed up past 10 p.m. just to finish a movie, have one more conversation with a loved one, or simply to enjoy the quiet of the night? And then the next morning you woke up with a heavy body, a tired mind, and low spirits. If so, you're not alone. But what might surprise you is this: according to a recent 2024 study from the Mayo Clinic, seniors who kept their bedtime between 9:30 and 10 p.m. experienced up to a 45% improvement in sleep quality. This isn't just a subjective feeling or a placebo effect. It's a measurable change. Deeper sleep, fewer awakenings during the night, and waking up in the morning feeling refreshed and full of energy. So why does this happen? As we age, the body's internal clock gradually shifts. The hormones that play key roles in our sleep cycle, melatonin, which helps us fall asleep, and cortisol, which helps wake us up in the morning, start to be released earlier in the evening and earlier in the morning. If in your 40s or 50s you typically started feeling sleepy around 10:30 or 11 p.m., by the time you're in your 70s, your body is already signaling the need to rest as early as 8:30 p.m. That early drowsiness isn't because you're weak or weighed down by age. It's your body's way of telling you it's time to recharge. But unfortunately, many of us don't listen to that signal. We force ourselves to stay up, waiting for a second wind that never really comes, and then wonder why our sleep feels so disrupted. I'm reminded of the story of Mrs. Williams, a kind-hearted 76-year-old woman who came to my clinic after decades of struggling with insomnia. For over 40 years, she had tried everything: melatonin supplements, herbal teas, white noise machines, even sleeping pills, but nothing truly worked. One quiet evening at the clinic, she looked at me with sadness in her voice and said, "I've been used to going to bed at midnight since I was a young woman. I'm not sure I even know how to go to bed earlier anymore." I gently shared with her what science has shown: her body no longer worked on the old schedule, and perhaps the only thing she needed to do was stop fighting her internal clock and start going with the new rhythm life had given her. At last, Mrs. Williams agreed to try something different, to get in bed at 9:30 p.m. and begin a new journey with sleep. And then something truly remarkable happened. 3 weeks later, Mrs. Williams returned, her eyes shining with happiness, tears glistening at the corners. She whispered, "Doctor, I finally slept. I slept through the whole night without waking up." But it didn't stop at deep sleep. She found her daytime fatigue fading, her spirits lifting, and her once foggy memory becoming clearer. And all of this came from just one small change. She listened to her body and honored her sleep's golden hour. Mrs. Williams is far from alone. In an internal survey our clinic conducted with 500 seniors over 6 months, those who consistently went to bed between 9 and 10 p.m. reported impressive results. 80% said they fell asleep more easily. 75% had fewer awakenings during the night. 7% felt more energized and balanced in the morning. This isn't some far-off miracle. It's the beautiful blend of science and self-care. If your body has been or is now sending signals asking to rest earlier than it used to, don't fight it. That early drowsiness isn't something to power through. It's a precious opportunity for you to embrace and cherish. For many people, 9 to 10 p.m. no longer feels too early. It's actually the perfect window for quality sleep. If what I've shared today has touched your heart or made you think of someone you care about, I hope you'll share your thoughts in the comments. Just type the word hope to help spread the message that small changes can lead to big breakthroughs in health, and that it's never too late to care for yourself or walk alongside those you love. Sometimes just a simple reminder is enough to light the path ahead. So what does sleep truly bring you? We often think of sleep as just a pause in life, a break between the rush of our daily worries. But for those of us in our 60s, 70s, or beyond, sleep is actually one of the most powerful forms of healing we have. And when you sleep at the right time, it becomes a mighty shield protecting your health. Let's start with the heart, the tireless engine that keeps you alive. At our clinic, we've spent years tracking the connection between sleep and heart health in seniors. And the results have even surprised us seniors who kept a regular bedtime between 9 and 10 p.m. consistently had significantly healthier hearts. Older adults who stayed within this golden window of 9 to 10 p.m. achieved results that even cardiologists found remarkable, up to a 45% reduction in heart-related issues. That's not just a small improvement, it's a life-saving change. Their blood pressure stabilized, irregular heartbeats became rare, and in many cases, with their doctor's approval and guidance, they were able to reduce or even stop certain heart medications altogether. One patient once said to me, his eyes shining with joy, "I didn't realize how tired my heart had been until it started beating calmly again." But the benefits of honoring this golden sleep window don't stop at the heart. It's also an incredible gift for your memory, the part of you that holds your life stories, your cherished relationships, and familiar moments. I clearly remember an elderly couple, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, both in their 70s, who came to our clinic with worried faces. They shared how they'd begun forgetting important appointments, asking the same questions over and over, and even though they tried sleeping in later in the morning, their minds still felt foggy and confused. The fear was plain to see, and honestly, anyone in their position would feel the same. But simply by sticking to a consistent 9:30 p.m. bedtime, they gradually experienced remarkable changes. After 3 months, their memory improved by 32%, a figure confirmed through simple cognitive tests. Mrs. Thompson stopped forgetting her medications, and Mr. Thompson rekindled his love for morning crossword puzzles, something he'd given up due to memory troubles. Beaming, he said, "It feels like the light's been switched back on in my mind." Science has now confirmed what we long observed: sleeping at the right time gives the brain enough time to clear out toxins that build up during the day, toxins that are linked to memory, decline, confusion, and even Alzheimer's disease. And perhaps the most beautiful part, sleeping at the right time helps heal our emotions. In our latest clinic data, patients who kept to a regular 9 to 10 p.m. bedtime reported up to a 58% reduction in anxiety and depression symptoms. This isn't just about mental health, it's about a journey back to inner peace. It's about waking up with confidence, with a lighter spirit, and feeling like yourself again. Because in those early hours of the night, the brain enters a miraculous deep cleaning process. It doesn't just wash away the body's fatigue and tension, it also clears out the worries, fears, and sadness from your mind. It's like a gentle, refreshing rain that soothes all the noise that life has left behind. Imagine that every night, just before you drift off to sleep, you're giving your mind a warm bath, washing away all the fatigue and stress of the day. And if you're living with diabetes or concerned about managing your blood sugar, here's another important reason to consider adjusting your bedtime. Patients who chose to sleep earlier showed significantly more stable nighttime blood sugar levels. Many of them, with close guidance from their doctors, were even able to gradually reduce their insulin doses while staying safe. So if you've ever wondered, could one simple change to my bedtime really make a difference? The answer is yes, not just once, but 1,000 times over. Because sleep isn't just when the body rests passively, it's the most miraculous natural medicine you have. And when taken at the right time, it heals more than you ever imagined. What else can you do to help your body rediscover the deep sleep you once had? The good news is you don't need to spend money on expensive supplements, follow complicated routines, or try tricks that take hours. Just a few small habits done consistently can turn restless nights into peaceful ones. Here are 5 simple tips I've shared with hundreds of patients over the years, and many of them have found their way back to the peaceful sleep they thought was lost forever. 1. Respect the golden window. Sleep between 9 and 10 p.m. If you remember only one thing, let it be this: your body now wants to rest earlier. That drowsiness you feel around 8:30 p.m. isn't weakness, it's nature's wisdom. When you get into bed between 9 and 10 p.m., you're aligning with your new internal clock, a rhythm reshaped by age, hormone changes, and your body's inner timekeeper. This helps you more easily slip into deep restorative sleep, as if you've caught the perfect wave to carry you into the calm seas of rest. 2. Avoid coffee and heavy dinners in the evening. Did you know caffeine can stay in your system for up to 6 hours? That means the cup of coffee you had at 3 p.m. might still be bothering you when you're trying to fall asleep at 9:30 p.m. And it's not just caffeine. Heavy dinners loaded with protein, fat, or strong spices can keep your stomach working overtime when your body just wants to rest, disrupting your sleep. You might be surprised to learn that even a small piece of chocolate in the evening or a late cup of green tea can make it harder for you to fall asleep. Many of my older patients were shocked to realize that these seemingly harmless habits were quietly standing in the way of a good night's sleep. Similarly, overly large or greasy dinners force your stomach to keep working hard just when your body truly needs to relax and unwind. Simple tip: have your last main meal at least 3 hours before bedtime. If you're still a bit hungry before bed, choose light, easy-to-digest snacks, like a ripe banana, a few almonds, or a cup of herbal tea that's caffeine-free. 3. Soften the lights. Send your body the message that it's time to rest. Our ancestors went to sleep when the sun set, and even though today electric lights have replaced candlelight, our brains are still sensitive to light signals. Blue light from TVs, phones, tablets, even LED ceiling lights tells the brain, stay alert. But soft amber-colored light gently whispers to the body it's safe to rest now. Try dimming bright lights around 7:30 or 8 p.m. Instead, use table lamps or night lights with warm yellow bulbs. You'll be amazed at how your eyelids start to feel heavier, as if your body is naturally switching into rest mode. 4. Give yourself a soothing bedtime ritual. We often lovingly help our children or grandchildren wind down before sleep with a warm bath, a bedtime story, or a gentle lullaby. So why not offer yourself the same kindness? Set aside 20 to 30 minutes before bed for activities that help your mind and body unwind. Read a few pages of a book. Listen to soft music. Do some light stretches, or simply sit quietly wrapped in a warm blanket and let your heart settle. Stay away from things that might trigger stress: the evening news, to-do lists, or heavy conversations. This is your time to exhale, to leave all worries outside the door of your bedroom. 5. Step away from screens. The hardest challenge, but the most rewarding. This might be the tip people resist the most, but it's also the most powerful one for reclaiming deep sleep. Try putting down your phone, turning off the TV, or setting aside the tablet at least 30 to 60 minutes before bed. The blue light from these screens doesn't just block melatonin, the hormone that brings on sleepiness, but scrolling through social media or watching the news can leave your mind more restless and tense. Choose stillness instead. Let the day's moments gently settle. Sleep isn't something you can force. It's a friend you invite with calm and peace. One of life's quiet lessons is this: change doesn't have to be big to be powerful. Sometimes the first step on the path to healing is simply a small decision, a gentle choice to listen to your body, to hear the messages it's been quietly trying to share with you. So tonight, as your home falls into stillness and the night softly wraps around your window, I hope you'll pause for a moment. Don't rush, don't fight the sleepiness. Welcome it as a gentle reminder from within. You've done enough for today. Now it's time to rest. At this stage of life, sleep is no longer about keeping up with the world's pace. It's about returning to yourself, to your natural rhythm, to the care your heart and mind so deserve. And always remember, it's never too late to feel stronger. It's never too late to begin healing. There is still quiet, meaningful time ahead, time enough for your body to restore, your mind to feel clear again, and your spirit to find peace. If this video brought you a new perspective or reminded you of someone who might need a helping hand in finding restful sleep, I sincerely hope you'll take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so we can continue growing this supportive community together. And I have a special invitation for you. If you believe it's never too late to rest, to heal, to grow stronger, type the word hope in the comments below. Not just for yourself, but for those you love. Because sometimes just one word is enough to remind us we're not alone on this journey. Tonight, as nightfall gently arrives, I hope you'll pause. Don't rush, don't resist the sleepiness. Let it be that soft whisper, you've done enough for today. Now it's time to rest. You're never too old to feel healthier. You're never too late to begin recovery. There is still peaceful time ahead, time enough to regain energy, clarity, and calm. If this video was helpful for you, please hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And type hope in the comments, not just for you, but for someone you care about, as a reminder that none of us are alone on this path. Thank you for being here. May you sleep well tonight and wake up refreshed and full of life tomorrow. See you in the next video.